Hey, imagine this. The difference between staying broke and actually building serious wealth isn't about hitting the lottery, landing your dream job, or discovering some secret loophole. Yeah, it comes down to just a handful of small, consistent monthly habits. Habits almost everyone completely ignores. While most people are chasing the next get-rich-quick scheme or the latest crypto boom, you could be quietly stacking wins that increase your net worth by over $100,000 without burning yourself out or giving up the things you enjoy. Sounds impossible? That's exactly what most people think. They believe wealth only comes from earning six figures, discovering some genius investment, or inheriting a fortune. Here's the truth. Building wealth is predictable and honestly, a bit boring. And that's exactly why so few people actually do it. My name's Ryan, and I spend a lot of time thinking about money, compound growth, and why so many people stay stuck in financial mediocrity. So, if you're tired of watching your bank account stay the same month after month, and you want to see exactly how small, consistent actions snowball into massive results, yeah, stick around. This video is for you. Let me throw a statistic at you that might surprise you. The average person takes about 8 years to save their first $100,000. But once that milestone is reached, going from $600,000 to $1 million takes only about 6 years. And no, that's not because people suddenly become financial geniuses or triple their income. The difference is that compound interest finally has enough fuel to work. That first $100,000 is always the hardest because you're doing all the heavy lifting while your money sits idle. But after that, your investments start working harder than most people at a full-time job, literally making money while you sleep. Crazy, right? And here's the kicker. None of this requires living like a monk, inventing the next iPhone, or having insider Wall Street knowledge. The real secret is simple. Building wealth isn't about massive, dramatic changes. It's about stringing together small wins every single month that, over time, compound into life-changing results. And today, I'm going to show you exactly which monthly actions actually move the needle and which ones just keep you busy while leaving your net worth stagnant. Now, think about this. When you picture a wealthy person, what comes to mind? Luxury cars, a mansion, exotic vacations? Yeah, reality is very different. Research shows that the average millionaire lives in a middle-class neighborhood, drives a car that's several years old, and follows money habits that outsiders would call boring. They live below their means and invest in assets that grow. They understand that looking wealthy and actually being wealthy are two completely different things. And honestly, most people never realize that. Now consider this. The average U.S. household spends over $5,000 per month, roughly $67,000 per year. And that's after taxes. So if you spend that much, you need to earn at least that amount just to break even. To actually build wealth, you either need to earn more than $67,000 or figure out how to live comfortably on far less. Think about that for a second. Many people are earning decent money, but because of lifestyle inflation, they're trapped in the earning trap. Here's where most people fall into what I call the earning trap. They assume the only solution is to make more money. So they work longer hours, chase promotions, or start side hustles, all while keeping the same spending habits that kept them broke in the first place. And, the result? Their expenses rise as their income rises. This is lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the biggest wealth killers out there. You can't out-earn bad habits. Simple as that. The people who truly succeed financially understand one thing. Wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much you actually keep. I know six-figure earners who are broke because they live like they make seven. And, yeah, I also know teachers and mechanics quietly building real wealth because they understand the difference between looking rich and actually being rich. And honestly, that's where the real power lies. Mastering your habits, not your paycheck. So let's start with the first monthly habit that accelerates wealth faster than almost anything else. Automate your savings before you even see your paycheck. This isn't complicated, but it's extremely powerful. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to an investment account on payday. Financial planners often suggest 10 to 15% of income. But honestly, the exact number matters less than establishing the habit of paying yourself first. Even 5% works. The key is making investing automatic, consistent, and effortless. Now, why does automation work so well? Because it removes the emotional element. If you manually decide each month whether to invest, you're battling advertisements, social pressures, and your own impulses. Automatic transfers make your future self wealthier, whether you feel motivated or not. Over time, this small step compounds into enormous financial power. Imagine watching your investments grow every month without thinking about it. That's real freedom. The second habit, take full advantage of employer 401k matches. Around 25% of workers don't use this benefit, which is basically free money left on the table. Here's how it works. If your company matches 50 cents on the dollar up to 6% of your salary, and you make $60,000, contributing 6%, $3,600, earns an extra $1,800 from your employer. That's a guaranteed 50% return before your money even hits the market. And yes, guaranteed. Nothing else in life pays you that kind of return risk-free. Factor in compounding. That $1,800 each year, invested at 8%, grows to over $200,000 in 30 years. Many people completely ignore this benefit, leaving hundreds of thousands on the table. Always take the match, but real wealth comes from going beyond it and building a consistent investing plan. This is where patience and discipline turn into serious money. The third habit, eliminate high-interest debt. A lot of people think paying off debt isn't wealth building, but every dollar of debt removed immediately increases net worth. And paying off debt with 20% interest? That's the same as earning a guaranteed 20% return. Let that sink in. The average American household carries over $9,000 in credit card debt. At 20% interest, that's $1,800 lost every year. Most of it comes from things people didn't even need: clothes, gadgets, takeout. Paying off high-interest debt should come before investing beyond employer matches. Making 7% in the market while paying 20% interest is counterproductive. Once the debt is gone, redirect that freed-up money into investments. If you were paying $400 per month toward credit cards, continue paying $400. Now it builds your wealth instead of padding your bank's profits. Simple, but powerful. The fourth habit, build an emergency fund. I know, it's not flashy, but it protects your wealth from unexpected setbacks. Without it, a $2,000 car repair or broken water heater forces you into debt or forces you to sell investments at the wrong time. Keep 3 to 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. Start with $1,000, then aim for 3 months, and eventually 6. Emergencies become manageable, not catastrophic. And beyond the math, there's something priceless: peace of mind. When you know you can handle life's surprises, you stop making impulsive, fear-driven financial decisions. That calm, quiet confidence is one of the best side effects of real wealth. The fifth habit, gamify your progress. Our brains respond to rewards, and saving becomes easier when it feels like a challenge. Try the 100 envelope challenge. Label envelopes 1 to 100, and each day put in the corresponding dollar amount. By the end, you'll have $5,050. Adjust numbers or timing if needed. The point isn't the exact total, it's creating engagement and momentum while you build wealth. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a little game and instant gratification along the way? The sixth habit, review subscriptions and recurring charges. Americans spend hundreds of dollars per month on streaming services, gyms, software, meal kits, and more. Each seems small, but collectively costs thousands per year. Review the last 3 months of charges, cancel what you don't use. Freeing $200 to $400 per month and investing it grows into hundreds of thousands over decades. Those tiny savings really do add up when compounded. Finally, understand the difference between assets and liabilities. Expensive cars, designer items, gadgets, none of these are wealth. The average American spends $700 monthly on cars that lose value instantly. Choosing reliable, affordable alternatives can redirect over $4,000 annually into investments, compounding to $500,000 in 30 years. It's the little choices that make the massive difference. To recap, the 6 monthly habits are: 1. Automate savings. 2. Take full advantage of employer 401k match. 3. Eliminate high-interest debt. 4. Build an emergency fund. 5. Gamify saving. 6. Cancel unnecessary subscriptions. Start with one habit this month. Once it's automatic, add another. A year from now, your finances will look completely different. Remember, wealth isn't rocket science. It's about consistently making choices that most people ignore. While everyone else chases tips or complains about their paycheck, these habits produce steady, predictable results. Most people will hear this, feel motivated for 5 minutes, and then do nothing. Don't be most people. Pick one strategy this week. Once it's on autopilot, add the next. Your future millionaire self depends on the choices you make today. An extra $100,000 in net worth doesn't come from luck. It starts with your next decision. The math works. The strategies work. The only question is, will you actually take action?